Hello, my name's Neil Burton, and this is my first video blog, so please bear with me. And what better place to start than with Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics, and in particular with the central inquiry of the Nicomachean Ethics, which is none other than human happiness. Now, in the Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle tries to discover what is, as he calls it, the supreme good for man. That is, what is the best way to lead our life and to give it meaning? Now, for Aristotle, a thing is best understood by looking at its end, purpose, or goal. For example, the purpose of a knife is to cut, and it is by seeing this that one best understands what a knife is. The goal of medicine is good health, and it is by seeing this that one best understands what medicine is, or at least what medicine ought to be. Now, if one does this for some time, it soon becomes clear that some goals are subordinate to other goals, which are themselves subordinate to yet other goals. For example, a medical student's goal may be to qualify as a doctor, but this goal is subordinate to his goal to heal the sick, which is itself subordinate to his goal to make a living by doing something useful. Now, this could go on and on, but unless the medical student has a goal that is an end in itself, then nothing that he does is actually worth doing. What, asks Aristotle, is this goal that is an end in itself? This end in itself, this supreme good as he calls it, is happiness. And I quote from Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics. And of this nature happiness is mostly thought to be, for this we choose always for its own sake, and never with a view to anything further, whereas honour, pleasure, intellect, in fact every excellence we choose for their own sakes, it is true, but we choose them also with a view to happiness, conceiving that through their instrumentality we shall be happy. But no man chooses happiness with a view to them, nor in fact with a view to any other thing whatsoever. So what Aristotle is actually saying here is that we can choose certain goals, certain ends in life, such as honour, pleasure, or intellect, and we can choose them for themselves, but we also choose them for happiness. However, when we choose happiness for no other purpose, no other end than happiness itself, and therefore happiness is an end in itself. In fact, happiness is the end of everything, the end in itself. Now, a very important question here. What is happiness? Now, for Aristotle, it's by understanding a distinctive function of a thing that one can understand its essence. Thus, one cannot understand what it is to be a gardener unless one can understand that the distinctive function of a gardener is to tend to a garden with a certain degree of skill, or something like that. Now, whereas human beings need nourishment like plants and have sentience like animals, their distinctive function, says Aristotle, is their unique capacity to reason. That's the thing that differentiates us the most from every other living being. It's our capacity to reason. That's what makes us human beings. Therefore, the supreme good, or happiness, for us, is to lead a life that enables us to use and to develop our reason, and that is in accordance with rational principles. In contrast to amusement or pleasure, which can also be enjoyed by animals, happiness is not a state, but an activity, and it is profound and enduring. Now, Aristotle acknowledges that, of course, our good or bad fortune can play a part in determining our happiness. For example, he acknowledges that our happiness can be affected by such factors as our material circumstances, our place in society, and even our looks. Yet he maintains that by living our life to the full, according to our essential nature as rational beings, we are bound to become happy regardless. For this reason, happiness is more a question of behavior and of habit, or as the ancient Greeks would say, of virtue, than of luck. A person who cultivates such behaviors and habits is able to bear his misfortune with equanimity, and thus can never be said to be truly unhappy. Thank you very much.